This is the inspiring and powerful success story of a man who turned pain into discipline, discipline into mastery, and mastery into greatness. This is the story of Jet Li, the quiet warrior who became a global symbol of martial arts, resilience, and inner strength. Our journey begins in Beijing, China. In 1963, a young boy named Li Lianjie was born into a poor family. He had no luxury, no comfort, no toys, and no special opportunities waiting for him. What he had, instead, was struggle, loss, and hardship. When he was just 2 years old, his father passed away. The family fell into deep financial difficulty. Jet Li often remembers those days when he would stand in long lines for food, or when his mother struggled to feed her children. But the universe had a different plan for him, a path that would take him from poverty to global stardom. When Jet Li was 8 years old, his school discovered that he had a natural ability to move with incredible balance, speed, and coordination. He was selected for a special martial arts program, even though he had never practiced kung fu before. His coach saw something in him, something rare, something powerful. Jet Li didn't know that this was the beginning of a journey that would change his life forever. Training was brutal. Every morning started before sunrise. Hours and hours of stretching, kicking, punching, forms, and discipline. While other kids were playing outside, Jet Li was practicing until his body shook with exhaustion. But he never complained. He said later in life, "I never thought it was suffering. I thought it was my life's purpose." His discipline at such a young age was unheard of. Even his coaches were surprised by his focus. Jet Li had something that cannot be taught: hunger. The hunger to be better than yesterday. At age 11, Jet Li competed in the National Chinese Wushu Championship. He was the youngest competitor there. Everyone expected him to lose. How could an 11-year-old defeat grown fighters? But Jet Li didn't just win, he dominated. He won the gold medal and became a national champion. His victory shocked the entire country. In the next 5 years, he won 5 national championships, becoming one of the greatest martial artists China had ever produced. People began calling him a kung fu prodigy. Even Chinese leaders were impressed. Jet Li once performed a martial arts demonstration for the President of the United States, Richard Nixon. Nixon asked him, "How would you like to be my bodyguard?" Jet Li replied politely, "No, thank you. I want to protect my 1 billion Chinese people." Not just one man. Even at that young age, his spirit was strong, confident, and loyal. But what makes Jet Li's story powerful is not just the victories. It is the pain behind them. During his training, he suffered injuries, fractures, bleeding hands, torn muscles, and countless falls. Sometimes he couldn't sleep because of pain. Sometimes he felt like his body would give up. But he refused to quit. He kept training, kept learning, kept growing. His dedication transformed him into a legend long before he ever stepped into movies. But destiny had another twist waiting. In the early 1980s, Jet Li retired from competitive martial arts after repeated injuries. Many people thought his career was over. But Jet Li saw a new path: the film industry. In 1982, he starred in a movie that would change Chinese cinema forever: Shaolin Temple. No one expected it to become a cultural phenomenon. But the movie exploded across Asia. It was the first time the world saw a young Jet Li combining real martial arts with powerful acting. The film revived the Chinese martial arts genre and made Jet Li an overnight superstar. Crowds followed him everywhere. Kids imitated his moves. Tickets sold out for months. Jet Li was no longer just a martial artist. He was a hero. But fame never changed him. Jet Li stayed humble, quiet, and focused. He worked harder, trained longer, and kept improving himself. He went on to make films like Once Upon a Time in China, Fist of Legend, and Tai Chi Master. These movies cemented him as the next great martial arts icon, after Bruce Lee, but the journey wasn't easy. During one of his movies, a wire snapped and Jet Li fell from a great height, almost costing him his life. During another shoot, he injured his ankle so badly he had to finish the film while barely able to walk. But as always, he refused to quit. Pain was never strong enough to stop him. His philosophy was simple. If life hits you hard, stand up stronger. Then came Hollywood. Many Asian actors struggled in Hollywood, but Jet Li broke through. In 1998, he appeared in Lethal Weapon 4, playing a villain, so fast and so skilled that audiences were shocked. Even the camera struggled to capture his speed. Hollywood instantly knew Jet Li was a different breed. He went on to star in hits like Romeo Must Die, Kiss of the Dragon, The One, and Unleashed. Unlike many action stars, Jet Li didn't rely on his physique or loud personality. He used precision, discipline, and authenticity. Every movement was real. Every punch had purpose. Every scene had soul. His performances inspired millions, and he became a worldwide icon. But Jet Li's success story is not just about movies. It is also about his battles outside the spotlight. Jet Li has faced financial struggles, injuries, and health issues. At one point, he nearly lost all his money because he trusted the wrong people. He has suffered from hyperthyroidism and spinal problems that made movement difficult. The world was shocked when photos of him looking weak and tired circulated. People thought his time was over, but they forgot who Jet Li was. They forgot the warrior who rose from poverty, the child who trained through pain, the champion who never quit. Jet Li fought back again. He focused on recovery, meditation, spiritual growth, and inner peace. Today, he continues to inspire millions through his foundation, his teachings, and his wisdom. He believes true strength comes not from muscles, but from a calm and disciplined mind. Jet Li's journey teaches us that greatness is not about luck. It's about discipline, sacrifice, and resilience. He came from nothing. No privilege, no comfort, no shortcut. But he built himself through hard work, day after day, year after year. He proved that a kid from poverty can become a global icon. He proved that pain can be your greatest teacher. He proved that no challenge is bigger than the human spirit. Jet Li's life is a reminder that success is not the absence of struggle. It is the triumph over struggle. Every champion was once a beginner. Every master was once a student. And every legend was once a child with a dream. So whenever you feel tired, lost, or defeated, remember Jet Li. Remember the boy who had nothing, but became one of the greatest martial artists in history. Remember the fighter who refused to quit. Remember the man who turned discipline into destiny. This is Jet Li's success story, a story of courage, perseverance, and the unstoppable power of the human spirit.